I had the most interesting conversation in the sauna of all places today, and basically there was this other guy, just me and this other guy sitting in the sauna, and I could tell that he was going to want to say something to me. I could feel it. It's like at the tip of his tongue. And I felt like I really wanted to hear what he had to say. And it's so funny how you have that intuition, and then it's so funny how you have a conversation which feels like the exact conversation you needed in that moment. Because basically what he told me is, I don't know, he started talking to me somehow, and we started talking about his life. And one of the first things he told me that really struck me was that if you want something, then you have to really, really go for it. And you should really go for it. If you want anything in this life, if you want to do anything extraordinary, you shouldn't stop yourself from trying. And then the second thing he said that really struck me was that if you do want to be part of the top 1% in whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are doing, then it makes no sense not to have a relationship with God while doing so. That you might as well just develop a relationship with God. And that really hit me, because developing a relationship with God or praying or coming into some sort of religion is something that I have been, for the first time really ever in my life, truly working on. I think I've always erred on the side of spiritual. I've never been super religious, and I don't know if I'll ever be super religious, but I do want to start talking to God and praying. And I think I always felt weird praying. I always felt uncomfortable in a sense, it was awkward. And I also felt weird asking for things when I could just do the work to get them. It felt weird. It always felt uncomfortable to ask for things or to ask for help, even from someone like God, which I know sounds crazy and it's something I need to work on, but that's always why I've kind of I don't know, I've been confused about it. But lately I've started praying, and even just in my most recent prayers, I do feel like I've had a very big impact in my life. A huge one, honestly. Sometimes prayers work fast, and I listen to these people say things like that, I'm like, whatever. But I don't know. I do think everyone should try some kind of prayer. We don't have to believe in the same God. We don't have to. I don't even know what God I believe in. When I pray, it's it's invisible. There's nothing. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I'm talking to somebody, and I think it's working. And when he said that, it was really helpful, because I am trying to actively develop a relationship, and I'm trying to pray every single day. And what he said really resonated, because again, if you're really aiming for something, if you're trying to be in the top 1% of something, it makes no sense not to have a relationship with God. It makes no sense not to exhaust that avenue as well, have someone on your side, and have someone you can be honest with and talk to and ask for help. At the end of the day, we do nothing alone. You were born by somebody else, you live in a house that someone built. You probably didn't build it with your own hands. You use a phone that someone built, that someone thought of the idea for. You use the internet, which someone else created. No matter how badly we want to say we do these things on our own, we don't do anything on our own, right? That's besides the point. What I am trying to say is that very much so struck me. And I've been in this period of life where I have been thinking, I have this theory that if I put in 20% more effort into the things I'm doing and the things I'm trying to achieve, 20%, I think I will get there. Because I think me, as most people, want certain things, and then we work towards certain things, and we say we're doing all that we can, but are we doing all that we can? Is my 100%, my perceived 100%, really just an 80%? Because I brought up the gym in my last video, and I'll bring it up again. This is my mindset with the gym, right? This is how it happens at the gym. You are tired and it hurts, and so you think you're doing it all, but are you working to failure? Are you even getting close? You know, are you just kind of running on autopilot? Because a lot of the time at the gym, I do run on autopilot, follow my plan or whatever. And then I look back a few weeks later or a few months later and I'm like, wait, I'm using the same weights that I was using back then. And like, how come I didn't even like up the weights or up the sets or up the reps? Why am I doing the same exact workout I did 3 months ago? Something should be different here, you know? I should be a little bit stronger. But I think what I'm doing in lots of aspects of my life is I am doing just enough. And I'm having this goal in mind and I'm working towards it, but if I just up the ante, just 20%, if I just up it a little bit, then I'll get where I want to go, because I already did most of the work. For example, I already, drove to the gym. I already got to the gym. I have my gym outfit on. I have a plan. I already did everything. I'm already doing like my fucking, okay, I shouldn't say the F word. I'm trying to stop cursing. I'm already doing my reps and sets. Might as well just up it 5 pounds. That's 20% more effort max. And you'll see a difference. And that's just one aspect, right? And prayer is like another aspect. Is like, I've always had this like iffy, like, are they not? What are we? Relationship with God and religion. And why have I always teetered on the lines of everything? Why have I always just kind of done things or just done them just enough? And it's so funny because like, I've achieved great things in my life, right? But I think I can do more. And I think that if I put in my actual 20% more of whatever I'm already doing right now, whether that's 100% total or what, if I just put in that much more effort, then I'll get there. And that's my theory, and that's why I'm sharing this video, is I think that like, if you are working towards a goal and you're thinking, why am I not progressing? Why do I feel like I'm plateauing? Why is there no motion? Ask yourself what would happen if you just put in 20% more effort. Not if you went all in, if you locked in, because chances are you already feel like you're doing that. But chances also are that if I ask you, what if you put in 20% more effort, chances are you already know what that 20% more effort looks like. For me, with the gym, it's being very intentional about upping my weights and not half-assing any exercise. Again, I cursed. That was messed up. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stop. With my religion or prayer or having a relationship with God or it's intentionally praying once a day. It can only help you. It can only help. It can't hurt. So I'll do it, right? With my goals, that's personal. With my schedule, my routine, a lot of times I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sleep on time, I'm gonna wake up on time, I'm gonna have 8 hours of sleep. But then what do? I cut corners. Oh, let me just scroll a few more videos on TikTok before I sleep. Oh, let me just like sleep in a little bit longer, like let me just whatever. Oh, with water, I'm trying to have like a proper water intake. I'm almost there every single day. I just about almost make the mark, but I don't make the mark. 20% more effort would be making the mark. I feel like, truly, if I want something, it can't be that hard. Like, people have done it. Everyone has done hard things. We're all made of the same material. I think it's just people who work really hard and know that they're not shorting themselves, and then people who think that they're doing everything and what could possibly, but they actually have that 20% still in the tank that they're reserving for God knows what. And that's me. And I'm not promoting overworking yourself to the bone or whatever, but there are people who do that and they don't complain. But I'm not promoting that. I am promoting like question if you're really giving it your all. If you're not where you want to be in life yet, question, are you really giving it your all? And also question, what would doing just a little bit more get you to? Because I've seen this a lot and I've heard this a lot, but like the difference between like the top 1%, if you want to call it, and everybody else is that the top 1% does just a little bit more. Everyone is already hitting this baseline. Like, if you want to have this, like, idea that the top 1% is, like, spending all-nighters and doing this and that, they probably, like, maybe some are, but not everyone. I really think it comes down to, like, I really think it comes down to being honest with yourself and not living in autopilot mode. I'll give you another example too. There was like a period of time in my life where I could not put on weight for the life of me. I go back and forth with like this issue of sometimes being underweight or whatever. And like, I could not put on weight for the life of me. And it's so funny now. And I was doing everything. I mean, I was ordering like meal prep and I was tracking and planning and just trying everything, but I guess I wasn't trying hard enough. And like, it's so funny now because like now I'm putting on weight like this, and what changed, the only thing that changed is every night once I am done with my 3 meals, which I'm very intentional about, eat meal 1, eat meal 2, eat meal 3, I'm not tracking anything, I'm just eating at least 3 meals a day. Every night after that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have 1 extra snack. Even though I'm not hungry at all, I'm gonna have a little snack before I go to bed. And now I'm putting on weight like crazy. And I think that little snack, that's the 20%. Does that make sense? Like, that's the 20% more that you need to do to get to where that makes the actual change. Everything else just leads up to that. Obviously, you need everything else as a foundation, but you can't just do the foundation and get to where you need to go. You have to do that one little extra push at the end of it. Prayer with God. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is my last example. This kind of is in the realm of like, how do I say? I was just at the gym, obviously. And, I don't want to like, I've been having like chronic pain and for years, like a couple years, and I try not to let it get in the way of lifting, but sometimes it does. And my knees were just killing me today, and I was on leg press and it's leg day and I have to do leg day, but my knees were hurting, like the bad kind of hurt. And I was like, this is so messed up, man, because they won't stop hurting. They haven't stopped hurting in a long time. And like, how am I supposed to proceed with life? I feel like an 80-year-old. I'm like, I can't even bend down without like grabbing my knees and like being upset. But anyways, I'm on leg press and I'm like, man, I just want to get this done. Like, and then I remember seeing a video on TikTok. I saw this a couple times. I kept scrolling on TikTok. This thing kept popping up on my feed in different ways. And it feels so like silly to me. I don't want to call it silly. I'm not calling it silly, but like for me to do it, I feel silly. Like I have this weird, like, this is silly of me. But this video keeps popping up where it's like, sing to yourself that, like, I don't know the exact words, but it's like, every single cell in my body is happy and healthy. And just keep singing that song to yourself. Like, every cell in my body is like happy and healthy. And I was like, and everyone in the comments is like, I sing this, like it works. I love this song. And I'm like, guys, like, I believe you. But me personally, I feel weird singing that. I feel weird. This is weird. But my knees were hurting so bad and I was out of options. I did everything I could. I like prep my knees for so long before my workout. My pre-workout routine is like an hour. Okay, I'm putting in reps trying to get these knees to like not hurt. And I was out of options at that point. I'm sitting on leg press, the plate's already there, I'm there, everything's there, I'm mid set, and I'm like, okay guys, like, I don't know why I said guys, I'm only talking to myself, but I'm like, okay, I gotta do the song. So I held my knees with my hands, and I kind of just like in my head was like humming like every single cell in my body's happy and healthy, and every single cell is so like friggin' joyous. Every single cell is genuinely smiling from ear to ear. Every single cell of my body is happy and healthy. And then I just said, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then I did a set, and guess what? You're not gonna believe it. You're gonna be like, you're not gonna believe it. You already know what I'm gonna say, but you're not gonna believe it. My knees didn't hurt. I did the set. For the first time in a long time during leg press, like, I really did the set. So this kind of goes back to the prayer thing and also like the asking for help thing. But it's like, it only helps to do these things. It doesn't hurt. Like, whatever you believe in something and do something. And like, that's my advice. Okay, it's not a prescription, but it's just like what works, what is working for me, or what path I'm on. And like, also I'm like, so like, I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out with it, or I had been, right? Like, I'm scared to sing the song, and I'm scared to pray out loud, and if I just put 20% more into even that, and I just like accept that I can ask for help, and I just pray, why not? It only helped me with my knees just now. And I don't know. I know it can be disheartening when you pray and it doesn't work out, but if you're going to be all in and you're going to put that extra 20% of belief into everything that you're doing, then if it doesn't work out and you've prayed for it, then you just have to accept that that also was in your best interest, that it not working out was in your best interest, and you'll understand why with time. But you have to trust that it's not in your best interest, and that the universe or God or whoever is conspiring in your favor and in your favor only. So that's also the route you have to take. That also comes with the 20%. But yeah, I know I keep saying the number 20%, but if I just put in that number more of effort into the things I'm doing, whether they be prayer, religion, whatever, or they be my routine and my goals and my schedule and everything that I'm doing, right? There's like 2, 3, 4 things that I really want to achieve in this life, and that are my goals as of currently. And I think I'm putting in my 100%, but I'm clearly not, because when I say what's that extra percent you can put in, I already can list the things that I can do. Okay, if I just do those things, I think I will be better off. And I thought to share it with you because that conversation felt so timely to me, and I really benefited from it, and I hope you do too. Anyways, I love you. I will talk to you later. Take care, and yeah.